surprised to know that Korea has its own exclusive and proud community of yodelers. Korea's best-known yodel portal site, Haidiland, is celebrating its 15th anniversary on December 14th with a concert, The Memories of Burner. Today we have one of the special guests from the concert in the studio to tell us more about it. Randy Irwin is a professional yodeler with performances on BBC Radio and Television, ABC Radio Network, Carnegie Hall, and on the silver screen. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning, ma'am.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
So, is this your first time in Korea?
Yes, it is. It's very exciting. Yes. Yes.
And you're here for the 15th Haidiland anniversary.
That's right. Yeah. They decided that they needed to fly me in to be a special guest. Many performers at the Haidiland special concert, but they needed some Western swing yodeling.
Well,
who knows why?
Since it's your first time in Korea, I don't know if you had any expectations of whether Korea even had yodelers.
Oh, well, I knew about I've been in touch with Haidiland for 4, 5, 6 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, we email back and forth. It's a very small world. Everybody's very closely connected in the yodeling swing sort of. A lot of Swiss yodelers, and Austrian yodelers. The cowboy yodeler comes in every once in a while. Yeah.
What are you?
I'm the cowboy yodeling,
yodeler.
Western swing. Yeah, sort of jazz, blues swing. Yeah.
So you had a chance to meet some of the Korean yodelers in person.
Yes,
since you've been here. Yeah.
very excellent yodelers here.
So this concert is called Memories of Burner. What does that mean?
Well, the Memories of Burner is it refers to a song that most musical students learn when they're just getting started, and it has some yodels in it. So the vocal students are very familiar with that particular kind of yodeling Swiss kind of song, and so they decided, well, let's remind people of that.
So it's like your first piece when you learn to yodel.
Your first, and sort of like a popular piece amongst school children as well. Yeah.
How does it go?
Oh, I don't even. It's very complicated and it's very Swiss.
I see.
And the cowboy just sort of stands back and lets the Koreans do all of the
And I understand that there will be a mini concert before the main concert.
Yes, in Buyeon, there's supposed to be a very small one, just sort of a little gathering, very informal, on Saturday, I believe it is, and then Sunday's the main concert. Yeah.
You're a Texas native.
Texas, born, raised in Texas, on the coast of Texas. Yeah.
So you're a bit of a cowboy yourself.
We had cattle. We had soybeans and rice farm is what we had. We were rice farmers for 3-4 generations. So we were on the coast of Texas. Yeah.
First yodeler in the family?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
When did you start yodeling?
Yeah, they try. Well, I heard simple yodels and bluegrass and yodeling and Western swing and you get simple stuff like that and just little breaks in the voice through my family who are all amateur musicians. And when I got older, I decided that I found this big break in my voice and I could actually do it more complicated stuff. So in my 20s, I picked up a guitar and started doing it professionally.
I see. In your 20s?
Yeah. So
how did you discover your talent in yodeling?
I listened to a lot of records when I was little, and finally, when I got to be a grown man and got my full voice, a baritone voice, I found out that I had this giant break into a falsetto, into a soprano, into a male soprano. So I could switch back and forth really easily, and I thought, I remember all those old songs that I used to hear when I was a little kid, and so I just sort of started doing them. I could just do them right away. So then I just kept going.
And because you're from Texas, I guess you got into cowboy yodeling instead of...
Yeah, the Western swing. It's very popular in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s. A lot of what they call tent shows would come through, vaudeville type shows would come through Texas and the South, and you would hear all sorts of music and a lot of Western swing yodeling cowboy stuff. Yeah.
So can we hear a little bit of your?
You want to hear a song?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
What will you sing?
If you want me to do one live right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
We would love to hear it.
Okay. Yeah. I'll do a short medley, very short, of Cattle Call, which is a sort of a traditional sort of song, and then a Gene Autry song called "Back in the Saddle Again." End up with a big flourish here. We'll try. Okay.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Coyotes howling, way out where the dog is born. Spurs are a-jingling, the cowboy is singing, lonesome cattle call. Saddle again, out where a friend is a friend. Rode along on cattle feed on a low Gibson wheel. Back in the saddle again, riding range once more. My old 44 don't sleep out every night, and he only law his ride. Back in the saddle again, hooked it high, oh, rocking to and fro, back in the saddle again. Whoopie-tie, I go my way, back in the saddle again. I didn't know.
I'm
so tired now.
You must be. So that's what you're talking about when you're saying a break in your voice.
Oh, yeah.
The ability to go from low to high.
Yeah. A really good, well-trained singer, operatic, would have a continuous voice. No training here, just big breaking right in the middle.
And that's what you need if you want to yodel.
That's exactly what you need. Is some sort of yes. That. Yes.
Well, that song, that music definitely had, a hint of Western, beat. Is Western swing or cowboy yodeling very different from like Swiss or Austrian yodeling?
The Austrian or the Germanic or Austrian would be very, very lots of rules, and you have to follow the rules, and it's very, very square. And the Swiss would be a lot of harmonies, and then you get the Western thing that they got started, and it's more it's more bendy. Yeah.
Oh, well, you're out of breath.
Oh, that's good.
How long can you perform for? I mean, when I
do gigs, I do. Sometimes I'll do 2-3 sets, 45-minute sets. You got to be very relaxed. Yeah. Otherwise, you lose your voice. So you just be very.
But you just sang one song though, and you're out of breath. How can you do this for 45 minutes?
Oh, I don't know. I just do it. Yeah. No, I catch my breath, tell a little joke, and then shoot into the next one. Yeah, I could do them all day long. Yeah.
So, how did you start your yodeling career? Did you start out in a band, or?
Yeah. Well, when I started out in music, I would be like 4 or 5 years old, and we were very poor a farm family, and I decided I must play piano. Who knows why? I just like gotta have a piano. So I screamed for a piano for about 6-8 months, and finally got a piano. Started chording the piano, and I got going with that for 8-9 years. Picked up the trumpet, started playing in bands, polka bands, and waltzes, and dance bands, and then moved into more like Western, country Western. After that, into your teens, it'd be more popular music. And then after that, in my 20s, I decided that this kind of music fit me best, fit my voice best. So I just concentrated on that for the last 35 years.
So once you started yodeling, you kind of went solo with your guitar.
Yeah, and every once in a while, they'll say, let's do a trio, a fiddle, a banjo, a stand-up bass, big bass.
Because there are specific instruments that go well with Western
string instruments. Yeah, you want a string instrument, especially the swing stuff that I do, would be more of a jazz string thing, a lot like gypsy jazz, a lot of swinging, just,
What do you remember as being your first big break?
Probably when I got a chance to yodel in a Disney movie. That at 20, so I struggle and I still struggle, but I struggled for like 25 years. Finally somebody said, "Oh, would you like to drop a track into a Disney movie?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, please. May I please?" And so they let me do that.
What Disney movie was that?
It was called Home on the Range. It was a children's cartoon, a full-length cartoon that they released about cattle and ranches and a guy who rustles cattle by hypnotizing them with his yodel. so they needed a lot of that. So big production numbers in it and stuff. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Did you have to audition for the part?
Yes. They tried a bunch of people. Some were a little too alpine. Some were a little too cowboy. They needed somebody like right in the middle. And Disney is a huge corporation, so they take their pick. So they narrowed it down, and I did some demos for Alan Menken, who wrote Beauty and the Beast and a lot of other Aladdin and all that other stuff. And he said, "Yep, that's right in the pocket, right what we need right there." So just luck. Yeah.
And since then, where has your yodeling career taken you?
Oh, here in Korea?
You're in Korea now, but in other parts of the world.
I've come to Korea. Yeah, I've been to Canada and Great Britain, all over the United States. I spend a lot of time in the United States. I live in the Midwest, right in the Midwest, right in the center. So I spend a lot of time going to Chicago and St. Louis and Indianapolis and all around that area there, all by myself, playing my guitar, doing shows for kids and families and festivals and stuff. Yeah.
I think you might give Randy a chance to catch his breath. We actually have his CD ready as well, so let's play a track from Randy Irwin's CD, and this is Cowboy Rhythm.
I've heard the songs of opera stars, I've heard a lot of jazz, I've heard the rumba and the rhythm go swing that the modern orchestra has. I've heard the barn dance fiddler and heard the square dance call, but it's a coyote's wail out on the silent trail that's the sweetest song of all. Gypsy serenade with the violin soft and low. Somebody singing with a great big swing band, or a hey-de-hey and a hi-de-ho. Give me a rhythm of a western range. Starts when the shadows fall, but it's a coyote's wail out on the silent trail. That's the sweetest